With me, Ambassador Dayal, this is another huge claim by Iran, who is saying that it has killed about 650 US personnel. If that is true, from its attacks on US military sites in the Gulf region, if this is true, this is a big blow to the United States, which has been claiming that only 6 US troops have been lost so far.
You know, from the reports that I have come across, what Iran is saying is that it has killed or wounded 600 plus American soldiers. So it's not only the kill, but the wounded also, which are included in this. In any case, the casualty lists come out in the open because the body bags go back to America, then everybody knows how many have been killed. But you know, as you mentioned in your introductory remarks, this war is playing out exactly as people had expected. Firstly, the United States and Israel have escalated their attacks on Iran and inflicted severe damage. In the visuals which you are showing on your screen, the damage is quite evident, and this has happened all across Iran. I understand that more than 150 cities of Iran have been struck in a very lethal manner. But at the same time, it was also expected that if Iran comes under attack, then it would widen the conflict. And that has also happened. Iran has attacked US bases in the Gulf, also US embassies and consulates. And more tragically, even many civilian sites have been attacked, which have inflicted damage on the Gulf states. You know, this has made the Gulf Arab states very annoyed. And in fact, there are announcements by some of them that they want to join the American side in the war, because otherwise they will continue to be attacked and their capacity to defend is somewhat limited, although the Americans are also trying to defend them. Now, let me also mention that it is reported that Mujtaba Khamenei has been elected the new supreme leader. Now, the Islamic Revolution had taken place in 1979, and at that time, Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini had been chosen as the supreme leader. He was the most powerful voice, the most prominent cleric. Then when he passed away, I think it was in 1989, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei became the supreme leader. He was elected the supreme leader. Incidentally, I served in Iran 2 years after he was the supreme leader. I served from 91 to 94. And he was very powerful because in the Islamic Republic of Iran, the supreme leader stands way above everybody else. There are presidents and army commanders, but the supreme leader's voice is very important. So now, after he was killed, his son has been elected as the supreme leader. Now, there were dissenting voices. I understand that there were many clerics and some within the civilian establishment, some within the army, who did not want Mujtaba Khamenei to be elected. They wanted somebody else, or probably they wanted a genuine election. But the top leadership within the clergy does not want Iran to appear disunited. In other words, the Americans are trying to force a regime change, but the clergy and the IRGC want to show that Iran is totally united. So that is why it was important for them to show that Iran is not going to capitulate, and it has elected Mujtaba Khamenei as the supreme leader. Now let us see how things play out. Iran is under huge pressure. Without doubt, the Americans and the Israelis are trying to bring about a lethal, damage-related situation, inflict so much of damage on Iran that they can bring about a regime change. That is now clearly what their objective is. But the regime change is not going to be so easy because of the simple fact that there are no forces on the ground. So the IRGC calls the shots on the ground. So let's see how things play out. But nonetheless, the situation is very alarming, and it is going to have global ramifications because oil supplies, trade, and shipping routes, supply chains, all these are going to be very adversely impacted.